Now here goes Malia right here in front of you. That's a great look at her. You can see that white underside on her chest. That's a really important camouflage for the whales. If you're swimming around in the ocean and you're looking up, if you're swimming around under them in the ocean and you look up, that white belly will blend in with the lightness of the sky. And if you're swimming around above them looking down, their black backside will blend in with the depth of the ocean below. Alright, looks like we're going to have a whale jump all the way over here on the far right-hand side. That looks like the little guy, Makayo. Now, one of the ways you can tell Makayo apart, he's not only the smallest whale, but he's not actually quite black and white yet. When killer whales are first born, they're actually kind of a brown and cream color. That helps them blend in underneath their mothers as they're swimming around. And as he gets older, he's going to get that striking black and white coloration that we all know killer whales to have. Now, Makayo right now is weighing in at just about 1,800 pounds, and when he's fully grown, we expect him to be somewhere between 8,000 and 12,000 pounds. So he has quite a bit of growing to do. Now, to put that into perspective, the two largest whales in here right now are Tina and Kayla. Kayla's weighing in at just about 6,000 pounds right now, so Makayo will probably be about twice her size. Now, another question we get a lot here at the stadium is, how do you train the killer whales to do the things that we're seeing them do? Well, all of our behaviors can be broken down into very simple steps. It's kind of like when you learn how to read. First, you have to learn the alphabet, then you put those letters together into words into sentences, and before you know it, you can read an entire book. That's pretty much what we do with these guys. So, for Makayo, when we first started learning training, we just stuck out our hand and started building a relationship with him. Sticking our hand in the water, and he touched his face to our hand. Now that allows us to start orienting him in the water and kind of directing him where we would like him to go. Once he understands that concept, we introduce what's called a target pole, which is just a giant stick with a ball at the end of it. That ball replaces our hand and it allows us to reach out further into the pool than we would be able to do with just our arm. So for example, if we see a killer whale do a giant flip, the way that we train that is we actually start having them do somersaults in the water. And we'll slowly start raising that target pole higher and higher and higher until they're actually doing the front flip completely in the air. Alright, here we have Malia showing off her dance moves with Morgan. Pretty awesome. Now this is what we call a mimic behavior, where Morgan does something like spin in a circle, and Malia copies it, and she also spins in a circle. That's really important for killer whales, because out in the wild, that's how killer whales learn how to survive. And Makayo does the same thing here at SeaWorld. So he'll follow around his mom, he'll kind of pay attention to what she's doing, and other members of the pod here. And that's one of the ways that we can teach him the behaviors that we're going to be looking for him to do here at the show. As you guys are right over here, you can see Nalani. On her right-hand side, she has 3 black lines right at the front of the eye patch. They look kind of like eyelashes. That's unique to Nalani. So that's one of the ways you can tell her apart pretty easily. And as she swims by, she's going below. She can't see you. Killer whales can see equally as well above and below the water. Their eyes are shaped a little bit differently than ours. They're kind of like a half-moon shape. That allows them to deal with the light bending above and below the water. So they can see equally as well. They can also hear you as well. So if you want to cheer them on, they get pretty jazzed up. Just like Morgan over here. Alright, right in the center of the pool, I believe Kayla's going to be jumping up at about 3. There she is. Awesome. 3 and now. Now what Holly's working on with Kayla, you might have seen, she did that giant back flop, but she also squirted water out of her mouth while she did it. The killer whales know hundreds of different hand signals. That's how we communicate with them which behavior we would like them to do. Now in addition to that, they also know modifying behaviors. So we can ask them to do multiple behaviors all at the same time, which is really great for them because it kind of exercises their mind and it allows us to ask for different combinations of behavior all at the same time. Here comes Katina over here. Once again, this is our matriarch. Killer whales are a matriarchal society, so even though the males are about twice the size of the females are the ones in charge. So for us trainers, we look to Katina pretty much throughout the entire day. She lets us know what's going on socially within the pod, and she lets us know kind of where the whales would like to go. Now, all trainers training here at SeaWorld is completely based on positive reinforcement. So we let the whales decide what they would like to do. So if we ask them to do something and they decide they would rather go through a different behavior, that's totally fine. Or if they decide they just don't want to do it at all, that's totally their choice. And the way that we respond to that is we just ignore it. We don't do anything. And then once we ask them to do something and they do it correctly, then we'll bring a lot of positive attention to it and kind of reward them or reinforce them with that gel or the ice of the fish. Alright, so what Morgan's working on right here, I believe, is called the mermaid behavior. And so what she's teaching Malia to do is raise her tail while simultaneously doing a nice little squirt of water out of her mouth. So you have to do both of those things at the same time. This is a pretty early stage of this training process, I believe. Alright, Micaiah, the little guy, he's coming up right here in the center. This would be a great look at him. Alright, so as I said before, sometimes the whales decide they would like to do something else.